Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this particular session, the live market analysis with the yours truly, Tim Carey, your research and market analyst. So, welcome to this particular session. Today is on Wednesday, and let's have a quick overview of what has transpired between the last analysis we did on Monday and what we anticipate maybe probably as well to happen tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow and Friday, right? So of course we begin with the very the fundamentals aspect of it, looking at some of the key things that have already happened fundamentally, as well as what we anticipate to happen. All right, so what we anticipate, probably the data that we are still anticipating. Okay, so I can see quite a majority of us in this particular session, and yeah, we'll just get started. Hello Godfrey, can see you. I can see, yeah, we have quite a majority. I can see Angie, can see beginner from Coast, I can see Caleb, Catherine, Chief Bayenga, Beyanga, that is Mr. Crispino. So this, I can see you there, Bana. This is my grammar teacher. Dennis Ouma, Edward Ochego, Elizabeth Njoki. Crispinus, by any chance, are you doing English literature? Being a teacher for English literature? Edward Ochego, Elizabeth Musa, can see Njoki there, Emily, Eugene, Eustace, right? Franklin, I can see you, Godfrey, Grace Hassan, Joel, Kelvin. Not Kelvin, but Kevin. There is Kevin and there is Kelvin. All right. Martin, I can see you. Mr. Ngala, Patrick, Said King, Wesley, I can see you. Wilson and Yamal, I can see you there. So welcome to this session. So if we begin by looking at, of course, on Monday we had the card data that was coming out at 3:30. We saw we had quite an elevated inflation in Canada, because you see the previous 2.6, that is the common CPI yearly 2.7 from 1.9. So this was a revised figure from 1.8, so it came to 1.9. And yeah, when you look at those numbers, of course, we see some kind of inflation that is slightly or somehow elevated, meaning that it's a bit stubborn, and it's good also to look at how the Fed, or not the Fed, but how the Bank of Canada is likely to interpret that kind of data, right, in terms of decision making for the interest rates. Okay, so then on Tuesday we saw a strong GBP, because we had the claimant count change, which decreased from we were anticipating 16.5k, and it came at negative 11.0k. All right, so of course, if you don't know how to do the interpretation of the data, you can always click on that box there, and you can see it gives you the source of the data. It gives you what it measures. All right, so this one measures the change in the number of people claiming unemployment. Okay, so that tells you if we have so many people claiming unemployment, all right, and that is unemployment rated benefits during the previous month. Okay, so if we have so many people claiming unemployment, of course that tends to weaken the currency. But if we have less people claiming unemployment benefits, then that of course tends to strengthen the currency. Like you can see, it was negative 11.1. meaning that there were less people, less people claiming the unemployment. So it also gives you the usual effect. Actual less than the forecasted is good for the currency. Okay, so actual less than the forecasted. So forecasted 16.5, actual less, that is negative 11k, right? So that's how you interpret. If you don't know how to interpret, you can always click there, and you're able to interpret the data. So today morning we had the CPI for GBP, which came out at 2.9. Of course, it was same as anticipated, right? Because the forecasted was 2.9, the actual is 2.9. But literally, if you look at the previous month vis-a-vis this particular current month, of course, you can be able to see we had an increase from 2.6 to 2.9. Okay, so also giving us some signs of elevated or stubborn inflation in the UK. Okay, so at 10:10 we'll be looking at the ECB President Rigaldo will be speaking, right? Also at 1:15 he'll also be speaking, and you can see the description: due to participate in a panel discussion titled Global Economic Outlook, right, in the World's Economic Forum International Business Council meeting in Geneva, right? So same as this one as well, because you want to know where will he be delivering the speech, and so that you can be able to measure the impact, or maybe probably look at some of the expectations. And of course, like I've always said, anytime we have the presidents of the central banks speak, the key thing is to look at the sentiments, or to be able to understand the sentiment. Are they sidelining on the hawkish sentiment, or are they sidelining on the dovish sentiment? Okay, so when you talk about a hawkish sentiment, that's where probably anticipate them talking about having tighter monetary policy so that they can be able to curb inflation, and that tends, of course, to strengthen the currency. If we talk about a dovish sentiment, it means that they are satisfied that the inflation rate is reducing as per the expectations, and therefore they can relax the monetary policy. That means now the currency tends to weaken. Okay, so it is important as well, very important, maybe to listen to these some of these speeches. Of course, the 10:10 we might not be able to listen to it because we are here doing a live market analysis, but make a point of maybe probably after this, if you trade the euros, make sure that you go and search. You'll get the speech on YouTube, so make sure you search there and you listen to it. Also make sure that you listen to 1:15 p.m. Speech. This is in Kenyan time, right? That is if you're a fan of euros, right? If you trade euro pairs. Okay, so then at 9 p.m. today we'll be having an FOMC meeting minutes. So these are the minutes of the previous FOMC that happened the previous one, and this basically gives a more detailed explanation of the discussion. Remember, before they come to the press conference to share the interest rates decision, they always have the Fed always have like a 2 days retreat discussing, elaborating all those, and even voting, right? So there is a lot that you can be able to drive from these minutes that will be shared today at 9 p.m. as well. It's good to have a look at them, right? Everybody, we can have a look at them, because whatever happens in the US affects globally. Okay, so the reason why you find every investor, every trader, irrespective of where you are, irrespective of what you trade, of course you want to know what's really happening in the financial markets. Okay, and then now on 9:30 p.m. as well, we'll be having the Don, right? The Don will be giving a speech, President Trump. So due to speak at White House in Washington DC. This is very paramount. Again, if you are a trader, it's very good to listen to these, and it's medium impact, but maybe probably mention something that can be able to give us some cues in terms of what we might be able to anticipate. Maybe might mention some things to do with the geopolitical tensions that between Iran and the US. Right, so it's good to listen as well. It doesn't do any harm to listen. Right, it doesn't cause any harm to listen to that. Okay, so then tomorrow, that's where we'll be having now the employment change and employment rate for Australia. That is USI will be affected, AUD. Then at 3:30, tomorrow I'll be having a field fed manufacturing index and unemployment claims. So that will be affecting the USD medium impacts. And then on Friday, we have the PMIs. Okay, on Friday, we have the PMIs for GBP and for Euro, right? So that's what we have fundamentally. Now, let's go to the technicals, and we begin by the dollar index. Okay, so that is the dollar index. We are seeing some quite of still in that consolidation phase that we had marked. All right, remember within this consolidation phase also we have this key level here because we had that BOS. So this is an order block, all right, that has really been holding prices from pushing above, from pushing below, right? You see that. So it has really been holding prices there. But all in all, we have been seeing consolidation, like I had marked there. So the price is still in this consolidation phase. We are seeing yesterday was bullish. Today we are seeing some bearish sentiments coming in. Right, so it's really in that consolidation phase. But remember our anticipation, at least the price to come to this level. So overall, what I might say is that I'm looking at a slightly bearish dollar index because even with this kind of consolidation, when we have this push on the downside and then we see this kind of consolidation, higher chances that we see the price break on the downside. Okay, and we might anticipate the price to give us, you see this kind of move here, it might be replicated also as well, maybe probably price coming all the way, actually even all the way down to this particular level. Okay, so but we will work with the level after level. That's how we analyze, that's how you're able to follow the price, looking at it level after level. Okay, looking at it level after level, so that we can be able to follow through keenly. Okay, so our first point of interest, of course, at the 99 level, and if that level is broken, then we are going to see the price probably the next level coming all the way to these particular points. Okay, so that's what I am actually anticipating for the DXY. Okay, that's what I'm actually anticipating for the DXY. So slightly bearish sentiment. Okay, so when you look at the 4-hour time frame, of course, as well, you can be able to see the bigger the consolidation now. Maybe probably can be able to see it much a bit wider from this perspective. You can see how the price has been consolidating. So we anticipate the price to break on the downside and probably come to the 99 level. But alternatively, in case we see maybe probably price pushing on the upper direction. Okay, so in case maybe probably price pushes on the upper direction, you remember our first point of interest would be the price coming back again to this level, and if we break this level, we might see the price push upwards. Okay, so just looking at that, because you never know what might transpire. Yes, we are bearish, but something can come up, Trump can tweet, things can happen, and all of a sudden you see the dollar index pushing on the upper direction. Okay, so remember, this is a probability it's a probability game. So the reason why you need to look at it in both ways. Okay, of course, beginning with the bias or the higher probability direction, which you are saying it's a bearish, right? The bias is bearish, but also in case maybe the sentiment change, it's good to understand how to look at it, maybe probably in terms of bullishness, right? Then let's push down to the Japanese basket. Kindly, if you have any questions, make sure that you ask. All right. The reason I'm here is to be able to answer all your questions. You can put them in the Q&A, right? In the comment section, and I'll be able to address all your questions to satisfaction. So that is my job. Now, let's look at the Japanese basket. So when you look at the Japanese basket, we are still seeing the prices pushing lower, right? yesterday closed quite a very indecisive candlestick. You can see that, very indecisive. Okay, and depending on how prices are going to close today, today's candlestick, that's what maybe probably will dictate whether we are going to see a push on the upper direction again, or maybe probably whether the price is going to come to this level for some buying opportunities. Okay, so when I pull my Fibonacci, so from that point to that point, you can see the price already tapped the Fib optimal entry, right? The optimal trade entry there, and this is a retracement. A key retracement level. So maybe probably after this point here, we might see an extension, the price pushing back again to probably these levels. Okay, that is when you apply the Fibonacci to show us the retracement and extension levels. Okay, but still, apart from that, there is still some room for the price even to come all the way down to this point. And like we are saying, this should be the litmus test, whether maybe probably we're gonna see some bullish sentiment. This bullish sentiment gonna hold because you had already seen the sentiment come in place because you had this change of character, and therefore we know after every change of character there has to be a retracement, and also even as the price rebalances itself. So there is still room, this being the litmus test, because if price is going to hold here, then it means maybe we'll see that bullish sentiment confirmed. But if you're going to see the price is a break below this particular point, therefore what it means is that we might be able to see some more bearish sentiments. Okay, so that's Japanese basket, just neutral there for me. So it's just neutral there for me because the bullish sentiment has not really been fully confirmed. Okay, so let's monitor and see how the price is going, what we're gonna get from these prices. When you look at where the price reacted or where the price has reacted to, this is a 4-hour engulfing. Okay, so these are 4-hour engulfing. It's also an order block around this particular point, and you see how the price is reacting to that level. Okay, so let's monitor that, and we see how the price is going to react. So I'm neutral on this because yes, we have had a change of character, but now the price is yet to really confirm, because you can have a change of character, price come and break below that point. So those instances do happen in the market. So for this one, it's good to wait. If price pushes up from this point and gives us a BOS at this particular level, then now we can comfortably conclude that we are very bullish for the Japanese basket. But as for now, I am looking at it in a neutral perspective. Okay, right. So can see someone posted something here. Let me check. Yes, mimi ni wa English. I knew from your comments yesterday. I was able to tell. Mimi psychology, I'm always at par. So I could read your psychology and being able to tell Crispinos, right? I'm a genius. So are you using price action analysis? Yes, that's what I use. I don't use indicators myself. I use a pure price action. Okay, so the moment you understand pure price action, it becomes very sweet. Remember, I'm not saying indicators are bad. Actually, we'll be having a webinar whereby we'll be talking about how to trade using indicators. That's where I began. But as you proceed, as you gain the experience, you understand that price action, or you understand that indicators are lagging span. They follow what the price has already done. So if you are able to understand and pick up price action, then you are going to get very nice A plus setups, sniper entries. All right, than a person who is waiting for confirmations of the indicators. Right. So let's now go to our Euro USD. Of course, our Euro USD had hit our target. We saw that, and you see how the price reacted after hitting our target. Okay, so see how the price reacted, the kind of rejection that we had from that particular point. It was an order block as well. Okay, so if someone was looking for sales from that, it will be a good point to do that. Euro USD is not really that much volatile, so it pushed down about 42 pips. But you can imagine 42 pips on a daily basis, and then you compound that, right? That is enough to feed you your generation up to even the 10th generation that will come after you if your consistency. Okay, so it's very important. The reason I always speak about a consistency, even if you are getting 5 pips on a daily basis, that's more than enough. All right, the key thing now is to maintain that consistency. Every day you are bagging 5 pips, 5 pips, 5 pips, and then now you tap into the power of compounding, and that's how you change your story, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Just to encourage someone, so it doesn't really matter, even the financial strengths. You can just give yourself whatever you have, you begin from there. All right, like for instance, I gave myself a challenge, which I called it a 52 weeks trading challenge, and I began with $100 account, right? And right now I'm at $1,300. Okay, so just slowly, I want to see after the end of 52 weeks, where will I be? Because I've done so many savings challenge, calling 52 weeks savings challenge. I've done so many of them, saving money for 52 weeks, and done that successfully. So this year I tried to tell myself, or I tried to challenge myself, why can't I now do like a 52 weeks trading challenge? You get it? And yes, I'm there. I'm now on week 14, right? I'm now on week 14, and I'm doing strong, right? I'm doing strong. Okay. You can also challenge yourself as well, and you see, right? That's how you challenge yourself. It's not a must for it to be declared a trading challenge for you to do. You can decide to challenge yourself. Okay, so for this, what we are going to monitor here is probably whether maybe because there are some scenarios might happen. So what we probably gonna look at is if we are going to see the price break above that level, right? If you are going to see the price break above that level, then we're going to be talking about a more bullish perspective. Okay, and overall, I'm not saying today, right? I'm not saying maybe probably anytime soon. Overall, we might be able to see the price come maybe probably all the way to this particular point. Remember the aspect of ranges. We have seen that on the dollar index. Okay, so the replica, what the price did on this particular side, okay, so it's the same maybe probably thing that we anticipate the price to do on this other particular side. You see, it's very simple. When you look price at that particular point, and then you of course tend to believe in yourself. So that tells you maybe from this particular point, we might be able to see maybe the price break above this point, and of course maybe probably we'll be looking at this particular level here. Okay, so we'll be looking at maybe probably that particular level, the liquidity is being taken out, and probably now the price being able to tap here. Remember, this is on the daily time frame. Okay, so it's quite it might take quite some time before the price reacts the way we want to do, we want it to react. But now when you come to the 4-hour time frame, we can able to have now maybe probably a cleaner perspective of that. So as you see what's happening here, the price had already pushed up, right, hitting our target. And if price is able to come back again to this level, we are highly likely to get a trading opportunity here, because we have seen the BOS happen here, and therefore this is a key point where we have an OB, and any retracement to this level, we can still be able to look at some potential bullish opportunities. Okay, so here maybe probably for those who scalp, that what I was saying, if you do the scalping or the day trading, this was a good opportunity, because again, these are retracement, right? But if you're a beginner, of course, it's always let me use the amateur Yvonne. It's good to always stick with the trend. All right, make sure that the trend is your friend. So you wait for those retracement, and then now you look at some buying opportunities. Okay, but for pro traders, of course, trading those retracements can also be very, very good opportunities. Okay, so let's monitor and see whether the price is going to come back here. We can load some buying opportunity, or probably if it breaks above this level in the retest, then we can anticipate the continuation of the bullish momentum. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, still same scenario. Remember also the price, once in case maybe probably it breaks above this level. Okay, so in case it breaks above that level, this liquidity is here, we'll be having now what we call a BOS. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so the break above this level, I would want it also to maybe probably go above that zone, and then now we have maybe probably we can have a deeper retracement to the OB, and then now we see some more potential buying opportunities. Okay, but if it respect this order block here, this level here, and then it pushes on the downside, then once it comes to this particular zone around this the same zone here, yes, we can be able to look at some potential buying opportunities. Okay, so that's what we have. If you're enjoying what you have, what you are doing, please click the thumbs up, right? Like these. Okay, click your like here, the claps and all that. So then let's look at probably GBP USD. GBP USD, we are almost to our target, but we saw yesterday, of course, that the dollar index was slightly strong. So the reason why we saw some kind of retracement for this. So let me go to the daily. We begin from there. All right, so this is the daily time frame. I think we have been holding this setup for those who swing trade. They have been holding this setup. From our analysis, you are seeing the price is still pushing up. We have seen BOS happening even around this particular point. And yes, we still anticipate to see price pushing on the downside, because our sentiment is the dollar index to break on the downside, meaning that we are looking at the dollar index becoming even more weaker. So yes, you can continue still holding on this. And of course, I said when we are holding, it's always good to make sure that you take partials and put your stop loss at break even. As you see, don't really be worried about a retracement. Retracement are always a good opportunities even to add more position. And as you can see, we have been having quite a very swift trend, higher highs and higher lows. Okay, that quite a very nice trend. This was our TP1 during a CP NFP. Then this was our TP2, right? This was our TP2, which was comfortably it. And now we are waiting for the price to come to our destination. Okay, we are waiting for the price to come to our destination. So I'm targeting the level of 1.36381, this level here. That's where I'm targeting the price to come to. Okay, now if maybe probably didn't take the entries, the reason I'm saying waiting for retracement is very, very important. Okay, so for this push here, we were waiting for the price to come all the way down to this point, but what it did is that it came and respected the fair value gap around this particular point, and then we started seeing the price push up. Okay, so then we saw the price coming and creating another BOS around at this particular point. Right, so we have a BOS there, and maybe probably for now the bullish momentum to continue, we want to see also the price come and create another BOS at that particular point. Okay, because your work as a trader is to trade in the direction of the BOS. So the difference between, maybe to mention for clarity purpose, the difference between BOS is a break of structure, and change of character, which is the church. The difference is that for church is a reversal signal, right? It shows us when the market is reversing. But when you're talking about a BOS, it happens in a trending market. So if you see BOS happening in the upward direction, that tells you we're in a bullish market. Okay, so the reason why now I'm explaining that, so that you can be able to you can also use it maybe probably to help you in terms of understanding the confluences and all that. Now, that having been said, so what we are looking at still, I'm anticipating the bullish sentiment, the price that come all the way to that particular point. Now, in case of any retracements, that's where now you look at some potential buying opportunities. Okay, and of course, from what we are seeing here, probably retracement to around these levels of which I doubt whether the price is likely to come to that point, 1.34889. That's how you can be able to look at some, maybe probably some potential buying opportunities. But what I'm seeing for my case scenario, let me delete these lines here. We had used them as confluence, this trend line, so that we can have at least some better, cleaner chart. So with this kind of price action that happened around here, price pushing down, pushing up, unable to break above, unable to break below these lows here, because here we see that confluence. So it means that we are likely to continue seeing more bullish prices. Okay, so in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say in another language, simpler language, is that for these GBP USD, we are looking at bullish sentiment. Remember, the CPI data, it has come out neutral, so it's not gonna really like affect the structure per se, because it's neutral. So, but overall, as much as it is neutral, it is also giving us some signs of a strong GBP USD. Why? Because if you compare the previous 2.6 and the current 2.9, we can say we have a strong pound, because the inflation has increased from the previous month to this particular month. Okay, so that also supports what we have, the bullish sentiment or the technical analysis that we have for that, right? So that's very significant to note. This is my first day here. I want to have an MT5 account on my laptop for cause now. Okay, so David, what you can do is maybe probably get in touch with the account manager. They'll help you in terms of installing the MT5. They will help you on that, so you can get in touch with the account manager, because on this session I am not able to go on that direction, because here what you're doing is the live market analysis. Okay, but for better, just get in touch with your account manager. I believe you know who your account manager is. If you don't know, let me know. I can share this support number, but in your portal you'll be able to see the support. You'll be able to see somewhere you can be able to raise a support ticket, so you can do that even on your portal. Okay, so so then what are the, so someone says, how can I get tutorials on this? The recorded, these are live market analysis. The recorded version might not really be able to help you per se. This is where you follow through. You mark your levels as I mark mine, and yeah, because it will be difficult for you to get. It's not possible to get the recording for that. Okay, it's not really possible. Let me not lie to you. So these are just questions that I'll be able to answer towards the end. They are very relevant questions, so allow me to push through and now go to USD JPY. Right, so USD JPY. All right. So the price was almost to our target, and now we are seeing the price push on the downside. Let me ask you one question. If you had this kind of a setup, right, taking the entry at around this particular level, and then now the price starts retracing and coming all the way and hitting your stop loss, was that a bad analysis? Definitely no. So that, of course, probably some carelessness. All right, remember, it's not a guarantee for the price to go to our target. It's not a guarantee, but the price has already delivered some good number of pips. So your work as a trader is always to protect the bags. All right, you protect the bags. Okay, so ama utaniuliza hii bag ni ya nini, and see what is trending, hii bag ni ya nini. So but you have to secure whatever you have, whatever you get, because it's not really a guarantee. Yes, you are targeting the price to give us some good 450 pips, but the price has already given us 400 pips thereabout. Okay, so then what you can do is basically take partials. If you are very fearful, you can close the entire of it because you have already gotten something from that. You can also take partials, put your stop loss not at break even, because the price has gone like almost past three quarter of our target. So you can have your stop loss like midway. Right, you can have your stop loss like a midway. Okay, then when you go, so here our argument was on the daily time frame, we are likely to see the price push all the way up to cover these imbalance. Okay, all the way up to cover these imbalance. But now, when we came to the 4-hour time frame, we are able to see an objection around this particular point, because we have a zone here, we have an order block here. So the price is likely maybe to come to this point and react on that particular order block. But you see what the price is doing, by the way, here. So this has not changed the trend that we had here, because if I look keenly, these are the major lows, these are the major highs. So the price has not broken these major lows, so that now we can say that the market is reversing. So I'm just mentioning that to encourage someone who might maybe ask me, can I close, can I hold, right? So those are the decisions that you're able to, those are some of the things that you're able to look at, so that you can be able to make your decision. Okay, so that you can be able to make your decision whether to close or whether to hold. Okay, so for me, I can't close, I can't recommend closing if I've not seen any change of character, right? So if I see a change of character, then it can warrant maybe probably closing completely. But for now, it's just taking partials, having your stop loss somewhere, securing some good number of profits as well, and then we see how the price is going to move. Okay, so remember, we are seeing the dollar index, probably today we are seeing some kind of bearish sentiment for the dollar index today. What we have seen there, so meaning that maybe the dollar index is gonna weaken. And also we are seeing the Japanese basket. We have seen the Japanese basket reacting on a 4-hour order block, and now starting looking like it's gonna be bullish. So the reason why now we anticipate to see this kind of movement for USD JPY. Okay, so when you look at probably the hourly chart, so what I'll really be cognizant of, or what I'll be really keen to look at, you see this particular level here around this particular zone. That's where we have these engulfing, and that's where we have the major lows. Okay, so I'll want to monitor what the price does at this particular point. So if we see the price come here and reject, push up, then we're gonna be anticipating the price to go more high. But if we see the price break below this point, then it means that now maybe probably we'll be entering some slightly bearish sentiment. Of course, we have some liquidities. These are obvious liquidities resting here. You can see them almost equal lows. So let's monitor that and see what the price is going to give us. Okay, so let's monitor that and see what the price is going to deliver. Okay, so then when we look at GPP JPY, right? GPP JPY, for my friends from Rift Valley, GPP JPY Mojeje. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. And already this one has already given us our target. Remember that the target was very well delivered. We saw that on Monday, and we had about how many vips? We had about trying to measure that. We had about around 410 or something pips there, 400 plus pips. Okay, so the market delivered that already. So, but remember, as well here, what we are looking at is we were looking at the price covering the imbalance fully, but also on the 4-hour time frame we had this particular level that we are going to look. But before we go to the 4-hour time frame, look at this. We have this candlestick, the buy candlestick here. We have this sell candlestick which closed us in the decisive candlestick, but even as it closed as indecisive candlestick, it had already grabbed the liquidity for the previous candlestick. Okay, it had already grabbed the liquidity for the previous candlestick. Those who are here on Friday, we were able to discuss about the concept of liquidity. So, and now, if today's candlestick closes as a sell candlestick, then higher chances that we're gonna see maybe probably a deeper retracement of this price. Okay, so that is a very powerful candlestick. It's called the CLT model. All right, the CLT model that is the candlestick. The candle range theory. All right, so when we come to the 4-hour time frame, we had this kind of anticipation, the price to give us that the price to come to this level, then maybe probably retrace, right? So if it checks out these lows, we have a retracement, a retest, and then we see the continuation. But what we saw instead is after hitting the target, of course, we saw the price also continuing to push higher, and then now some bit of consolidation, and then now we are seeing in some maybe bearish momentum coming into play. Okay, so the type of candlestick I was explaining on the daily time frame for you, maybe probably to have an understanding. You see the same scenario here. We had this bullish candle, we had this sell candle that took out the liquidities of this candle, and then this the next candlestick closed as bearish, right? So, and that's where we now gotten that bearish momentum. So that's the same analogy that I was trying to explain what we have on the daily time frame around this particular level. Okay, so meaning that for this one, maybe we are likely to see some bearish sentiment kick in. Okay, and of course we'll be using this particular level as our confirmation zone. You see the price around this particular level here, this zone. Okay, so the moment we see probably maybe the price, if it comes down to this level, and then maybe this level holds and pushes the price higher and breaks above this zone, then we're gonna see some bullish sentiment, the price coming to this level. But in case the price breaks below this zone, then we'll be looking for a retest and maybe probably a bearish sentiment of prices. Okay, so that is GBP JPY. Where it is at the moment, don't be in a rush to take entries. Just wait for proper confirmation. Either break above this zone and a retest, then we look for buying opportunities or the continuation of buys because you have been buying all the way from these levels. Or in case it breaks below this zone, then we look for a retest, and now we can be able to look at some maybe some potential selling opportunities. Okay, we can be able to look at some potential selling opportunities. All right. I believe we all together. We all together on that. So, bag ni ya pesa. Yes, Jakes, bag ni ya pesa. Bag ni ya nini? Bag ni ya pesa. Tell them. Show me how to measure these pips. Benson, that's what we were doing in yesterday's evening class. That's where we look at how to measure pips. But just come here and take your ruler. You see where I have my cursor. You take that, and maybe probably if you want to measure from our entry, right? You start there, then you drag all the way up to the level that you want to measure. So that's how you measure, right? You find that those are about 406 pips. That's how we measure pips. But for more of that, shows you're a beginner, make sure you join the beginners class, which we do every Tuesday. Maybe probably you can get in touch with your account manager, and they can be able to share the link for that particular class. It's very important. So that's what we are anticipating for GBP JPY. Even on the 1 hour chart, I'll still anticipate to see some the same scenario, right, just to monitor how the price is going to play out before taking any position, right. It's good to have those confirmations before taking any position, right. It's good to have those confirmations before we take any position. Now let's go to NAS 100, then we go to US oil, and then now we finalize with the Abu. Okay, so this is a NAS 100, right? This is what we have been anticipating, or this is what we had talked about last the analysis that we had on Monday. And what we are seeing here, we saw the price push up, right? So we are seeing some bit of yesterday being quite a bit bearish, the price coming to this level today. And what we are seeing from this particular point is some kind of rejection. Remember, we were talking about probability of some maybe probably these NAS 100 being able to give us some all-time, another new all-time high, because where we are, this is the previous all-time high. So we were looking at the price coming, maybe probably giving us that all-time high. But now look at it, we had already seen a break of structure here, BOS. And the reason why we had marked this level, I think, was it from the 1 hour level, the 1 hour, or maybe probably, yeah, I think we had marked from the 1 hour OB. Okay. So, and we see what the price, even on the 4 hour time frame, the price coming to this level, and we are seeing some bit of rejection of prices from that particular point. Okay, so I'm looking at this kind of a scenario. That's what we had done. I believe we had marked these levels on Monday. So I'm looking at this kind of an instance. Of course, these highs being some target, and probably the all-time high. So what I mean is maybe probably at this particular level here, these can be maybe some around this particular point here. We can have some, maybe probably some partials. Okay, some partials from that particular point. Okay, some partials from that particular level. If you look at these consecutive buy sell candles, it gives us an indication of some imbalances coming into place. So the market might push up, maybe probably to fill the imbalance. Okay, so actually the best point will be this as your TP1. Why? Because also you can see at this particular point the price had created a BOS, so it can come and respect this order block. So make sure maybe at some levels around this particular point you have your partials. Okay, if you're holding all the way to the all-time to the liquidities at the all-time high. Okay, so I believe from Monday someone was able to mark these levels. If you monitor this pair, so and maybe probably already in those trades. So that's why I usually talk about specialization, because maybe if you only trade the NAS 100, then you could have gotten that opportunity. But if you don't trade NAS 100, you look at different assets, you find that this kind of an opportunity, you would have missed that, maybe probably trying to look at other kind of pairs. So it's good to specialize, right? You know, I've told you I've always done gold for the last 4 years faithfully. But I usually analyze every market. Okay, my work is to analyze for you. The reason I'm a research and market analyst, to be able to analyze these for you. But when it comes to execution, I only execute my trades on gold. All right. So that's the kind of movement that I would really want to see here for NAS 100. So let's see how the market plays out on that. Okay, so that's a setup to monitor, right? Remember, our overall target is this level here, which is where we have the all-time high. But as the price pushes up, it's always good to take some partials. All right, you pay yourself. It's not a guarantee for the price to come to your target. If we have a break below this level as well, The good thing is, all the alternative is now we can be able to eyeball some selling opportunities. We have the price break below this level. It's a breakout, a retest, and then now we look at some potential bearish move. Okay, so then now we can be able to look at the US oil, then we'll finally look at gold. So you remember the US oil I told you last time, this is not really the moment to start looking at entries for the US oil, right? I can see Kills on Hunter FX. Good morning, sir. How are you? I hope you are well. So I can see you there. I said it's not really the best opportunity. It's not really, I mean, oil, the US oil is not really in a place that you can be able to look at some potential um, buying opportunities or any kind of entries, because what we have here is retracement, pure retracement. Yesterday we had a retracement, and maybe for me, maybe probably in the New York session, that's when we might be able to see some movement here, as Trump also speaks at 9:30. Even though it's a bit late to look at opportunities, but if you're a day trader, if you're a swing trader, you can look at opportunities anytime. But if you're a day trader like me, or maybe probably a scalper, then 9:30 p.m. is not really the best time to be in the markets. Okay, so um, hmm. So for this one, I'll still be really undermanned in terms of looking at opportunities. Just like we had said, maybe probably a retracement to this zone here. Maybe probably from there, you might get some opportunities from this level on the 4 hour. See, we have talked about this was on Monday when we are doing our analysis, and we had looked at the potential of the price maybe retracing to this level. We look at some buying opportunities from that particular zone, but you see what the price did. We had some quite a bullish push up, coming and taking out this liquidity, all right, taking out that liquidity, and then now what we have here is consolidation. Now when you have a push up, okay, so let me show you on the 1 hour time frame so that you can be able to understand. So two things are involved here. We have seen, now let me read this. We have seen the price push up. As this price was pushing up as well, it had created some BOS around this particular level, right? So that means some retracement to maybe probably around this zone could really be good opportunities to look at some buying opportunities now. Remember, we are on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so this level here, but you see what we have, this consolidation. So when we have a stretch up, then we see a consolidation. Higher chances is that the price is going to break where, on the upper direction. Okay, higher chances that the price is going to break on the upper direction, and maybe probably will have, or we'll be able to see the price take out that liquidity. So not unless the price comes here, we look at some buying opportunities. But now, like what I've said, with this kind of a consolidation, higher chances that we will see the price break on the upper direction. So a breakout, a retest, then you look at some potential entries, and then now we target this liquidity. Alternatively, we might see the price throw a wick here, all right, and then now start pushing up, because there can be false breakouts. So we see the price throw a wick and then now tap this level, and then now we see the price push up. So those are the kind of opportunities, or potential opportunities that you need to look, so that you can be on the lookout in case the price gives us that kind of a thing. At least you know how to position yourself. But for now, a lot of consolidation. We wait for the breakout. Okay, we wait for the breakout. Higher chances we're gonna see probably the price push up and push up and come to this particular imbalance, all right, this liquidity. Because again, remember, we still have some gaps which have not been fully filled. The price only filled a bit of it, but we have this gap, all right, we have this gap from this point. That's where the gap started. all the way to this candle. So this is the gap, right? And the price just filled a bit of that gap. So once we take these liquidities, then we might maybe probably see the price push up and now fill these particular gaps. So that will be my analogy. Yes, bullish, yes, but let's first of all wait for clear confirmation in terms of where the price is going to break out. Okay, so just be patient on that. And finally, my bread and butter. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my bread and butter. Oh my. Okay, so for this one, I usually begin from the lower time frame. All right. So this week, yesterday, today, I mean Monday, and yesterday, I had already done with my weekly targets in one of my accounts. All right. So the one I'm telling you about, the 52 weeks trading challenge, I had already, because these I only look for 3 trades in a day, just 3 trades, not in a day, but in a week, just 3 trades, and I got very good setups, and I was able to accomplish my mission for that 52 weeks trading challenge. So now I'm trading Ilea. They account for cabbages, meats, right? That kind of thing. Anyway, so let's look at this. These are, because I'm going backward so that we can be able to appreciate some of the setups that we had, or some of the setups that I had shared. Okay, so of course, my first setup was around, see this zone here. That's where I had my first setup, the buy here. I don't know why I had not marked that. This was my first setup. All right. You're talked about this level. The price it pushed up, created a BOS here. All right. So this was a good opportunity for some buying. All right. Of course, looking at it this way. So this is where it all originated. From that point, right, the price is giving us a BOS here. Remember, the wicks do not confirm BOS until the body of the candlesticks closes below. Then now the price revisits what? This level. I remember, since this was on Monday, we had discussed this particular setup, and the price came, and then we saw that just 100 pips. That's what I do. Then we have talked about, in case the price breaks below this point, we look at what, right? Because I just want to remind you what we had done before we even look at what we are anticipating this particular week. Okay, so it's good to remind ourselves. So we said, in case the price now breaks below these particular points, we can have trying to expand, right? In case it comes and breaks below this level, we have a retest, and then we can be able to see some selling opportunities. And exactly, that's what I did, ladies and gentlemen. What I told you is what I did. So the price broke below that, right? Then the price pushed to retest there. You can see that, and I took my entry there, a sell, which was very good, a very nice one. Okay, so then the price came all the way again. This is where we have the order block, right? And Mark, remember, all these is as a result of what? When I trade ICT order blocks, I align them with, again, the kill zone. Okay, the kill zone time. So also, for those who have been able to come for the physical class, we did discuss about the kill zones. See, the advantage of coming for the physical class, you get the information before others. Yes, we are going to have a webinar on the same. Okay, we are going to have a webinar on the same, but for those who came at least for the physical class, they are ahead of others. So don't miss the next physical class if you're in a position to. That will be happening next week, right? On the 28th of August. At 28th of August from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. here at the office. We are located in Westlands, Wayakiwe, Delta Chambers, Unit C, 4th floor, right? So this was also an opportunity. So the price came to that point before someone says that it was a losing trade, and you saw the price pushed down. All right, it pushed down. So it gave about 57 pips. All right. Remember, when I mark my setups are always 100 pips on gold. I don't do more than 100 pips. So, and I've always told you, When the price gives me half of my target, I usually put stop loss at break even and take partial profits. Right, so meaning that that was a risk-free trade, something paid, right? That is in case you are looking at it that way. Then the price came, right? Remember all these levels now. You need to mark these levels very keenly. Okay, so and now we see the price coming again. I think this was yesterday. Okay, yesterday we had quite a lot of consolidation, from after the Asia session dropped. So we had really quite some good consolidation, and this one now your patience is tested, ladies and gentlemen. But amid this consolidation, as a pro trader, as a professional trader, if maybe probably even went all the way to the 30 minutes time frame, you can be able to look at some selling opportunities. Like I had this setup here, the BOS here, the price coming to my order block, and then now I have my 100 pips. Okay, so the logic behind that is very simple. Like I've always been explaining these chart patterns. So we have this downtrend, we have the price trading a point of support and resistance. Higher chances is that we're gonna see the price push on the downside, and that's what we saw. The price after consolidation, we saw a very nice push on the downside. Okay, a very nice push on the downside, right? And as I was selling here, I was now having that kind of sentiment. So I couldn't really look for buys per se after the price has not really broken from this level, but the focus was more of selling opportunities, aligning myself with the chart patterns, what is likely to happen. So I had that set up there as well, and we saw the price broke out. Even after the price breaking out, of course, remember we had the Asian lows, we had also the London lows. So the London session was not able to take the Asian lows. So and also so we have two lows that have not been taken. So the reason why you saw when the New York session began, the price really came all the way to this level. This was an order block, right? It was an opportunity to get some trade, but this one I missed this one. I didn't trade this one, but you can see how well the price came to that point. And then this your TP could be hit in a minute's time, right? Less than a minute, you have your bag secured. Okay, so for those who are on the price, you saw how the price did came all the way to that, then all the way pushing up. How many pips? So many pips. Okay, so many pips. About 250 pips. Okay, so for me, what I need is just 100 pips, and I'm okay. So now, enough of that. The price came all the way to this particular order block, right? So the reason why I'm doing this is so that you can be able to appreciate the price action. And you can see I'm still on the 5 minutes time frame. That's where I take my entries. So the price came to this level. We had a BOS here. This is an order block. That's where the price came to. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that a very nice setup. All right, a very nice setup. Right, a very nice setup. A buy. You don't want everything. Just give yourself realistic targets. And this is something I did from my back testing. I've said I've traded gold for 4 years faithfully without trading any other asset, using one strategy faithfully. Right. So I'm not one kind of a person who today I'm trading this strategy, tomorrow I'm trading another strategy, because with my 10 years of experience, I've realized that the more you change strategies, the more you delay even in terms of becoming a successful trader. And the more you focus on so many assets, the more the distraction. Okay. So learn from me, take it from me, right? I'm just sharing wisdom of 10 years in the market. I've seen a lot, right? So then now, what do we anticipate today? Now, I was just doing a recap so that you can see where opportunities were lying, all right? So what do we anticipate maybe probably to see the price do today? So um, this my cursor is not really working well, so the reason I'm struggling to push the prices. So let's maybe probably now um, begin on the daily time frame, so that now we see the bigger picture, right? Even as we wind up, and then I'll be able to answer your questions. So maybe probably on the daily time frame, you are not likely to see my charts very well. Remember, like I said, this is my bread and butter, so you'll see a lot of markings here, because I really want to follow these my friend here very keenly. Right, so I have a lot of markings because this is something that I trade passionately. So you saw how the price did. We had that uptrend. The price came here. So on the daily time frame, remember it's a consolidation we are seeing. Okay, so yesterday was a bearish, and then it created a bearish engulfing. Probably, maybe looking at the concept of engulfing, right? We might be able to see the price. Come and respect this engulfing, and then now maybe probably we see some bearish sentiment. Okay, or probably yeah, that's what I am looking at. Or probably we might be able to see also the price come and continue pushing on the upper direction, because we had an uptrend here, then consolidation. So we might see maybe probably the price breaking on the upper direction. If you look online, a lot of people have been discussing, are we going to see another all-time high for gold? Because same time last year is when the price rallied up all the way to 5,500. Okay, 5,500 to create, because that's where we have an all-time high. So the big question is, because there is that thing that history always repeats itself. So the big question is this the moment that maybe probably gonna see gold rally up and create maybe probably another all-time high? Kills on Hunter says yes, right? Also, someone asked me about my lot size. Don't worry about my lot size. My lot size is my secret. Okay, so don't tell me to declare my wealth. It's more of a way of asking me to declare my wealth, right? So you see what we are having at that particular point. Okay, so maybe probably that's the rally that maybe, all right, maybe. But of course, we are going to be guided by the price action. Okay, so now when you look at this price action, the price came to this level. That's where we have also a bullish engulfing. These are 4-hour bullish engulfing, and we are seeing some a bit of a rejection of the price from that particular point. Okay, so on the 1-hour time frame, you see the price action for today. That's the price action for today. And what I was really hoping for, when you look at these where the price reached, it's also tapped on this 1-hour OB, all right, this 1-hour order block, and then now we are seeing the price push on the upper direction. So what is my scenario today? We have already seen the Asian session. The highs of the Asian session have already been taken out during the London session. So that's what we usually call the London breakout. Okay, so that probably insinuates that today we are likely to see some bullish sentiment. So when you have that kind, now that's how you look for daily buyers. Let me come here so that you can see. Okay, so you see already the Asian highs have been taken out. So once the Asian highs have been taken out, we usually anticipate a reaction, a retracement on the downside. The concept of liquidity is very important. Okay, so what I will be looking at is probably once we have a proper now BOS, because those were just the liquidities being taken out. So once we have a proper BOS, we are likely now to see the price push on the upper direction. We see a retracement because now you cannot say this is an order block because you have not seen the body of the candlestick close above this level. So the moment we have that, then we can mark this as our order block, and any retracement to this level, we can look at some buying opportunity. Remember, we are anticipating the we are anticipating the FOMC minute meetings today, right? So it's something that also is going to affect slightly, not really much, but it's going to affect the prices of gold. Okay, so now as you can see, the price was pushing on the downside here. We have these BOS here, all right? So we can say we have a BOS around this particular level. So I'm almost winding up, all right? So, and For me, this is an OB, right? For me, this is an OB, all right? That's an OB for me on the 5 minutes time frame. So we might see the price. So what I really look at this kind of a scenario is now when the price is taking out this liquidity to tap on this particular order block. Okay, so just like maybe to take you back so that you can understand the concept. You see at this particular point, so we had this order block. The price came and took out the Asian liquidity, the London liquidity during the New York session, tapped on this order block. So anytime you see liquidities being taken out, always look beneath or below. Like if these are the sell side liquidities, look below the liquidity levels and look at where we have a point of interest. Okay, so here we have this point of interest, and the reason why the price reacted on that. So the same scenario, this is what I usually look at. Only that the price was not strong enough maybe to tap this level, but this could be like a very nice selling opportunities in case the price could have tapped at that point. Okay, but now again, remember, in the markets you really have to look at things in 360 perspective. Okay, so now if the price comes and it creates a BOS because it has created a high here, and then now we have seen the price retrace. So if it comes and creates a BOS, you need to ask yourself, like for me, not unless now you are scalping from this point, maybe probably to this order block, right? You see it's about 89 pips. So it's not really full 100 pips. So for this one, I usually ignore because I want a setup that is going to give me at least 100 pips. Okay. So, and therefore, the next point of interest that I'll be looking at is this particular level. This where I'll be looking at some potential opportunities, probably for sales around this particular point, because that's where we have this BOS here, and then now this is the order block. I know it's quite huge on the 1 hour, on the 5 minutes time frame, but you can always work with the mean threshold, the half of this order block. So I'll want the price to come all the way to this dotted line in the middle of my order block, so that now I can minimize the risk. If it comes here and it drops, no problem. I don't chase the market because there are plenty and a plenty of opportunities in the market. You are not here to chase the market, okay? So because you can see that's quite huge, about 115 pips. So I can't take a trade and risk 115 pips. That's too much. So I'll only wait for the price to come maybe to that level so that I can risk at least 57 pips is manageable. Okay, so that's how I do it myself. All right, that's how I mitigate my risk. Okay, so that's what I am looking at. A break below, a break above this level, then of course the next point of interest will be this particular point. So a break above this, you can also look at some potential buying opportunities and anticipate now the price to come to this level. Okay, anticipate the price to come to this level. Okay, so those are the levels that I am looking at. For bearish scenario, how do we look at bearish scenario? Here we have to be patient. We see the price probably check out the Asian lows. The moment the Asian lows are taken out, then now we can look for a retracement, and then now we look for selling opportunities. Okay, so that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I can see there are some questions here. So let me try address these questions, but we are done with our analysis. Like I said, of course, make sure you deposit those accounts when you're joining this kind of analysis, and you seize the opportunities. All right, you're able to seize the opportunities that we get. Okay, so because it's very important. Okay, so you don't go to a farm and you don't have the tools to farm, right? So you don't go to a farm and you don't have the tools to do what? The tools to do farming. Okay, so because you can always go there and find that we have some weeds, and you need to remove the weeds, and then you don't have the tools. What do you do? Okay, what do you do? So some of the opportunities that we have already seen, I believe, you see how the price is moving good. Uh, these are the kind of opportunity. Now, if you're not loaded, if you're not funded, what do you anticipate if you're not funded? Just watch, right? And you don't just want to be a participator. You don't want to be a fan. You also want to participate as well. Okay. So let me quickly answer these questions. They are very important. You can stick around because they are very, very, very important. Okay, so to get to hear what others are asking about. So this is a Q&A. So how far backwards in terms of date can I be able to confirm that an order block has already been retested earlier, making it weak? From where you drew the order block, okay? From where you drew the order block, all right? So, like for instance, this is where I drew my order block, right? From where you draw your order block. So my order block, I drew it from this particular level, okay? Because of this BOS. This was the BOS. And when the BOS happened, I came to this order block. So from as far as where you draw your order block, that's where you can begin. And you can see the first retest was here. So it has not been retested again. So it's as far as where you began drawing your order block. That's why you need to look for that, Kevin. Is it advisable to trade oil with an account of $20? Oil is a bit volatile. All right, with $20, maybe probably do Euro USD, GBP USD, because oil is slightly volatile. Okay, so I will not really advise you trade oil with $20 account. So do technicals follow fundamental, or do fundamentals follow technicals from your experience? From my experience, what you need to understand, 10 years of wisdom, hashtag 10 years of wisdom, is overall the market is driven by forces of supply and demand. Okay, and what creates forces of supply and demand is the fundamentals, right? So it is the fundamentals. The reason why you always see when I'm beginning my analysis, I begin with the fundamentals so that I can see what is likely to affect some of the pairs that I'm trading that particular day. So the fundamentals, then technicals, but both of them are very important. You can't ignore either. So you have to know what's happening fundamentally, because like we said, fundamentals, they can either maybe probably take you to the TP if you're in trades, or probably it can come maybe activate your setups that you have been awaiting to take. So both of them as relatively important, but overall it's the fundamentals that push the market, because without these fundamentals the market can be very boring anyway. Okay, so the reason why we have some NFP inakuja inachangamsha markets and such kind of things. How far, I think you have asked this question twice, so can you adjust your charts to um, the time frame? So the time frame is here. You can always see the time frame here, right? This is why you check the time frame. They're always here. You'll see where I've clicked. Like right now it's in the 1 hour time frame, my fellow brother. So we have not analyzed Euro USD. I did that. That is where I began. After DXY, I went to right. So when I do the dollar index, I go to the Japanese basket, I go to Euro USD, and then I go to GBP USD, USD JPY, Euro GBP JPY. Then I go to NAS, then I go to US oil, then I finish with gold. Probably Kelvin, you joined late. Okay, probably you joined late. So this is Euro USD. As you can see, we said we are anticipating the price to go more high. So if the price breaks above this level, and you can see the momentum is really kicking in, if the price breaks above this level, we'll look for a retest. For me, not retest of this level, depending on, because that's how I trade, I'll be able to look at the price maybe coming to an order block. The moment it gives me these BOS, for me, I'll be waiting for probably a deeper retracement to around this point, so that now I can look at some buying opportunities. Okay, so that's what we said on Euro USD, Kevin. So make sure you join exactly at 10, so that you can you don't you don't miss on that. Okay. So Trump tweeted the move of the week was fast. Yes, but again, even if he tweeted, we were very right on point. Okay, because I know you are talking about these move on gold yesterday. Okay, so the fact that he tweeted was very good for me because it made the price to come to my point of interest. So let him keep tweeting, right? Let him keep tweeting. I like him tweeting. Okay, I like him tweeting because that's when now the market is giving momentum. You're talking about this. Yes, it tweeted, but it respected the levels. Okay. Anonymous, yes, it can go to maybe till 5,500. Let's see. All right. We are just here. We'll be able to see how it goes. Is there a journaling tool for template you could recommend or share? I think that one I can only do after, is it this Thursday or next Thursday that we'll be talking about trading plan, so that I can show you how to create a trading plan. Trading plan also consists of a journal. All right. So once we do that, we'll be able to create that template together. So that session will be happening on, I think, this Thursday. So once we do that, I think that will be really okay. So what confirmations do you use before taking an entry? Very simple for me. Remember, your strategy needs to be very, very simple. So for me, depending on my strategy, I trade order blocks. So once I see a BOS, okay, once I see a BOS, what I do is now I come and mark my order block, and I'll just sit comfortably waiting for the price to come to my order block. Just that. So your strategy should be simple, something that you can explain to a class 2 student. Natashika, it's not complicated. Okay. So that's what I confirm according to my strategy. I don't know which strategy you use, Mr. Davis, Mr. David. I don't know which strategy you use. So you look for confirmations depending with the strategy that you use. But irrespective of the strategy that you use, okay, irrespective of the strategy that you use, one thing that remains very important is you being able to understand the market structure. That cuts across each and every strategy, the market structure. Okay. So more about fundamentals. Rose, I think we did a webinar on fundamentals, but we'll still do some more webinars on fundamentals. But we did this. We did that. Okay. So someone asked, can the FOMC minutes can FOMC minutes create spikes on the yellow metal today? Not really, because these are already minutes of the previous meeting. Sometimes, yes, they are always written in a red folder, but as high impact news. But not all the time. We don't really see those kind of movements. It's not like during the real FOMC rate decision itself, okay? Because this is already something that had happened. What we are getting now is the minutes of that particular meeting, okay? So yes, right. So I'm not really anticipating quite some spikes or such kind of things today night, all right, or tonight. So someone says, I like trading liquidity sweeps. Yes, they are very nice, all right. But for me, I usually spice it up, not just liquidity and then you take the trade, because you can't know how far the trade can go. So the reason why, like when I look at the Asian liquidities, when it is sweeps there, mine is to look at below these liquidities, where do we have a point of interest, where the price is likely to come and react from. That's how I align now my order blocks, probably using the liquidity sweeps, because they are very nice, by the way, very nice. It's good to understand. And so that you can be able to mitigate the losses. Okay. So the final question, then I will be out of your way. You can see the final question here. Do you trade or your experience? All right. That is talk for another day, Emmanuel. I can't share that here. It's a talk for another day, right? That's a very personal one. Which time frame does your order blocks trading plan encompass? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You can see gold, because I trade gold, it's a bit volatile. But for currency pairs, you can always do like they have like 15 minutes, because currencies are not as volatile as gold. But for gold, my entries are always on 5 minutes. Sometimes I can go to 3 minutes, sometimes even 1 minute, depending on the kind of volatility that we have. but mostly 99% I'm on the 5 minutes time frame. That's where I take my trade. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. Why did you ignore the first buy OB? Which is the first buy OB? Which one did I ignore? Did I ignore any? I said this one I was on transit. The reason I was not able to take this trade, it happened when I was on my way home. Okay, so if this buy OB you're talking about, if this one, you can see the setup well marked there, right? So which platforms do you get credible fundamental? Uh, Forex Factory, right? Forex Factory. This one I can get the fundamentals there, and also when I come to news, I'm able to see Trump akitweet. They usually write here like 6 hours ago. Trump said something, right? So see, that was 6 hours ago. It means ilikuwa usiku, and probably the markets reacted to that, right? You see how the market drew a wiki at 4, then pushing up, maybe probably. But here you can be able to get anything in real time, right? Sentimental, of course, is when you want to see how other traders are talking about. You can come to the forums, right? You can come to the forums, and now you join the forums that you want. Maybe probably Euro USD only. You can join there. You see what other traders are talking about. It's for gold. Yes. So for me, Forex Factory fits everything. Okay. Mm, Okay, Brayo. Thanks. Well, I see your comments. All right. So thank you guys, and see you in the next one. All right. I see you in the next one. We are actually anonymous attendee. That's me. Okay, that's me, my brother. I don't do what the rest are doing. I like doing what I know is right. So you can't convince me to stop trading my strategy and I start trading someone else's strategy. I've traded my strategy for the last 4 years and I cannot regret about it. Anonymous attendee. Okay, so stick to what works to you. Let me stick what works to me. I don't need 250 pips. I only need 100 pips and I am super, super, super comfortable. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful time and see you in the next one. All right. So, remember, tomorrow, 7:30, we have the session. We have the intermediate session tomorrow at 7:30. And this Friday we don't have any session, so it's time also to reflect. You analyze, right, you trade, you apply the knowledge that we have talked about and all that, and see you. Take care and trade cautiously. Remember, your number one mandate as a trader is to always preserve your capital. Rome was not built in a single day. Okay, Rome was not built in a single day. So don't be in a rush to double your accounts. Okay, don't be in a rush to double your accounts. Take it slow, right? Don't compare yourself with anybody, because this journey is very personal. As the Bible says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That has always been my mantra in trading. I usually tell myself, Timothy, work out your own forex trading journey with the discipline and consistency. The reason why anonymous attendee cannot convince me. So thank you guys and have yourself a wonderful time.